Prayer warriors and intercessors, right? I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this one, but I don't care. Old Mother Johnson is a prayer warrior, right? He's a prayer warrior. God listens to him. God listens to her. God speaks to her. You need something to get to God fast? Well, you better hit up Mother Johnson. Because if you need something, Mother Johnson can get you to the Lord quick, right? Or brother and so is an intercessor who stands in the gap, right? I need some people to stand in the gap with me, right? I did a video on what standing in the gap was really about a year ago. God, I just stand in the gap for my family, Father. Hey, yo, True, I gotta show you this TikTok. What are you doing? Thank you. What does it look like I'm doing? I'm standing in the gap. You don't gotta do that no more. Jesus is the gap. Say what? What the Bible really say about standing in the gap? For a long time, the church has adopted the practice of standing in the gap for their nation, their friends, and families alike. Today, standing in the gap is the practice of committed intercession where somebody places themselves between God and man and tries to repair a gap in order to get a prayer answered on behalf of somebody. The practice stems from Ezekiel 22:30, where God is looking for a man to stand in the gap on behalf of the people before him, but he found no one. This one verse has a chokehold on a lot of Christians today. But I came to tell you that Jesus is the gap. 1 Timothy 2:5 says that there is one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Through the finished work of the cross, God has forever found that man that he was looking for in Ezekiel through the man Jesus Christ. Jesus' perfect sacrifice sits in the gap between God and man and bridges the way for salvation, peace, and so many other things. So next time you get the urge to stand in the gap for someone, remember Jesus is the gap and pray from that standpoint. All of this language pushes you down and lifts somebody else up, right? All of this, Mother Johnson, a prayer warrior, they can get to God. You need a prayer. Oh, can you pray? Oh, I don't get with them friends who can't pray, What are you insinuating? What are you implying by saying don't get with that person who can't pray? What are you implying, right? That you need to get with somebody who can get to God fast or who can communicate to God in a certain type of way that reaches him fast. That's all the ideas that are being implanted when you say sort of things or you believe these sorts of things, right? So it convinces you that your prayers don't have the same effect as someone else, right? Mother Johnson is the prayer warrior, but you not. That convinces you that somebody else's prayers has more ability than yours, when that's not true, right? And it makes prayer something it's not. Prayer is communicating or communing with the Father, right? Talking to the Lord. That's what prayer is in its simplest form, right? But we have elevated prayer to this whole prayer warrior, prayer intercessor, whatever type of speech, stand in the gap, all this type of laboring in prayer, all this type of stuff. What are you working for? Laboring is working. What are you working for in prayer? What are you working for in prayer? You trying to work to get this stuff off you? Like, when we labor in prayer, we working to try to get the stuff off of us? Like, what we working for when we praying? When we call someone a prayer warrior, the psychology that comes with this is that they are more skilled at praying than you are. And they've earned stripes and been in battles, and they've earned more stripes and won more battles in prayer than you. They are prayer warrior. What? Can a believer be more skilled in communicating to God than another believer? No, God forbid. Communicating with God is not rocket science. When we over sensationalize our faith practice of prayer to that of prayer warriors or intercessors, we create a works-based faith, right? That faith that is keen on trying to get your prayers to reach heaven or to get a need met, and you create works to get God to move on your behalf, but you're not really moving nothing.